Our final speaker today is our illustrious host of this GoToMeeting event, Rick Davis, who is from ANCAN GoToMeeting. Rick, thank you in advance for having us here today and allowing us the ability to reach our brothers around the world.
Well, it's been a huge honor for us to work with the Male Breast Cancer Coalition. I have to tell you, I remember when we first started, Peggy said that she'd been approached by a couple of people, but she wasn't too happy with them. And we hit a pretty good rapport right from the beginning. And the opportunity to spread the word about male breast cancer, to increase male breast cancer awareness, has been just a huge privilege for us. And as it so happens, we've worked well together. I've had some connections that have been helpful to Peggy, and Peggy certainly made some connections for ANCAN that have been very significant, and especially when it comes to the UK, where we're really, really excited to start our first ANCAN UK Europe group on October 22nd for male breast cancer. So ANCAN, for those of you who don't know, is a patient advocacy and support navigation nonprofit. We started in prostate cancer because that's what I had, and we proved out a concept that virtual support groups can be truly beneficial, because there's a lot of folks that cannot get to a physical setting, and in situations for rare diseases, there may not be enough people to even create a meeting, which is what faces male breast cancer. There are plenty of breast cancer meetings available, but for you to get a quorum of men with male breast cancer in a country of this size is nigh on impossible. We recognize that. So we said, what if we were, this is back in 2011, we said, well, what if we were to create some sort of virtual forum? And of course, we had to start off at that time with telephone conference calls. And we showed that it worked. And we got a lot of people who were physically, geographically compromised. They just lived in the middle of nowhere. They couldn't get to a group. We had some people that were physically compromised, and we had some people who were socially compromised. They didn't want to be in a room with a bunch of other people, or they were agoraphobic and wouldn't leave their house. And we figured out that this really worked. And around 2016, we turned ourselves into a nonprofit officially, with two other founders, one of whom has gone his own way, really concentrating on men's mental health and virtual support, and the other who very sadly passed away from advanced prostate cancer at a very young age. And the work we do, we dedicate to him, and that's who some of you may wonder, what is the Barniscus Room? Well, that's named after Rob Barniscus. That's where the name comes from. And so we pay tribute to him every time we use this room. Currently, we have 23 groups, soon to be about 27 or 24 groups. I lose count now. We're working with, we'll be working by the end of October with, I think, 12, 13 different conditions, not just cancer. We have a group for multiple sclerosis. We have a group for sarcoidosis. We're starting up a group for lupus. And then we have some pan-cancer groups, which may be of interest to male breast cancer. We have a pan-cancer group for caregivers, for advanced cancer caregivers. So if any of you are dealing with metastatic disease or stage 3 or stage 4, and your caregivers would like some support, we recognize they need support too, and we run 2 meetings a month for them. We also have a group called Speaking Freely, which is a bit similar to your open mic group. It's for men with any type of cancer, and Ron and Michael have been on that group, and we just discuss anything that is affecting your life other than the actual details of your treatment. So, and that group is also starting to pick up now, especially since we've been privileged to work with Man Up to Cancer and Trevor Maxwell. So that's where we are. And then the last thing that we do on the net here are webinars. And I'm really pleased to say that next year, 2021, we will be doing a talk. We call on the talk, which is about how your disease affects your own family dynamics. And we have family members as a panel, usually 2 generations, sometimes siblings. And we have a moderator, and we talk about how the disease is talked about in the family. And we've done that so far for prostate cancer, for ovarian cancer, and the third one for this year is going to be for multiple sclerosis. Next year, we're scheduling inheritable mutations, and we're definitely scheduling a breast cancer one, and we will certainly want at least one, if not 2 pairs from MBCC for that. We also do some advocacy. One of the advocacy things I thought I would mention to you is that we're currently working with Foundation Medicine, whose name has been mentioned earlier on today. They do next generation sequencing, somatic rather than inherited tumor analysis. And we are questioning what actually constitutes an actionable mutation, because we have some concern that they come back with reports and they tell you that they found this gene and it's actionable with certain drugs. And we're saying to them, well, what exactly does actionable mean? Because we've had them report for prostate cancer certain genes that really aren't that actionable, or they're barely actionable, or they're marginally actionable. And so what happens is that the patient receives the report and they see there could be a drug out there that might work for them. But when they look into it, it really isn't that good a match of a drug, and it gets their expectations up, and we don't think that's right. So I actually serve on a committee with Foundation Medicine, a patient advisory committee, and we are challenging them on some of their actionability decisions, and we really want to get into what constitutes actionable for them. It really goes to the heart of their business. So that's some of the advocacy stuff we do. And then we do some personal navigation, similar to what you do, just to get men through. Most of our personal navigation is for prostate cancer. We, just like MBCC, are all volunteer. At this point, nobody's getting paid. But we have the most amazing group of volunteers. We have over 60 people volunteering for ANCAN at this point in time, from our board and our moderators through to the people that run our webinars on a much more complicated platform than this, and they've gotten their arms around it so we can run webinars very professionally. And I am just very I just feel very honored and privileged to be able to keep everything ticking over, and that we've got so many people that are dedicating their time to helping others, and that ANCAN as a whole is just doing some really good work right now. And we love working with you, and now you can all go home and eat your mama burgers.
That's right. We'll have mama burgers promised in April, if not, whenever we're able to do it. And,
Right.
and I did cook them last night, and they were amazing, guys. So
Okay.
this is wonderful. So anyone have any questions for Rick on the platform and everything? Or I know we're all comfortable with it on a monthly basis, so we can't thank you enough for allowing us to be able to always come together. And it works.
I will say we did offer Peggy the webinar platform for this, but it's very complicated to learn, and at the time, I don't think we had somebody that was available to run this for 2 days for her,
Yeah.
but so.
And this works. We know this platform. It's beautiful.
It does work, yeah.
It does work beautifully. And the highest we've had on here today is 25. So we're in good shape.
Yeah.
And I've taken screenshots and everything.
Yeah. We ran a webinar last week with 330 participants, over 500 registered, and we had another webinar with about 100, 110, 120 registered, and I think 80 people on. So when you get to these larger numbers, this sort of platform is not the best.
But it works for us right now. As they say, there's not enough, there's only 1% of the men, but guess what? Our 1%'s 1,000,000% in our own homes. So
that's exactly right.
We care, we bring our knowledge together. Look what we've done since 2014 of going online. Look what we've done to bring all you guys together. And we can't do it alone. It takes every one of us to make this happen. Absolutely. So we appreciate everyone being part of this family. And Sherry, do any closings here? You there?
Once again, thank you very much. I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Thank you very much to all that attended today. Our overseas partners, we love you. It's so nice to finally see faces. Our speakers, thank you. Hats off to you. It's amazing that you've been able to take this time out of your busy schedules to help us out and to get this information to these men. They are starving for this information, and we just love that you've embraced it and helped us in that realm. We have an amazing lineup once again tomorrow, barring any technical difficulties with speakers and their PowerPoints. So we wish you all a good evening. Thank you for joining us, and feel free to be on board tomorrow.
Yeah, and we especially thank all of our sponsors. And again, our biggest sponsor, Mr. Ancan, Rick Davis and the group. So God bless all.
Goodbye.
We'll talk soon tomorrow.